Hello students, good evening. I welcome you to my next video, National Immunization Schedule and the recent updates. So in India, the National Immunization Program, it is called as the Universal Immunization Program. So what is this goal or the aim of this program? This program in India aims to vaccinate each and every child and the mother of the child, that is the pregnant woman when she is pregnant, against vaccine preventable diseases. What are the vaccine preventable diseases? Like for example measles or diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. So when you see about the history of this immunization program, the first vaccine to be introduced in the Indian immunization program was BCG in 1962. It mainly protects against severe forms of TB, like the TB which spreads like disseminated TB of the CNS and so on. So over the years, various new vaccines have been introduced in our schedule. This schedule, it was first known as Expanded Program of Immunization or EPI. In the recent years, if you see, in 2015, IPV or inactivated polio vaccine was introduced. So IPV, it is Salk or Sabin. You always will have doubt in exams. So is this IPV is Salk or Sabin? If you see Salk, it has K. So Salk stands for killed polio vaccine and Sabin stands for live oral polio vaccine. So this IPV is nothing but Salk. This killed polio vaccine was introduced in our immunization schedule in 2015. Then in 2016, rotavirus vaccine was introduced. So when the government introduces a vaccine, it introduces in some phases. So first it was introduced in four states, then slowly it is introduced in several other states. Then rotavirus vaccine, which protects against diarrhea, it was slowly spread to other states. Then in 2017, the measles rubella vaccine was introduced. First we had only measles vaccine. Now we have it as measles rubella vaccine. Then the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. Pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, which prevents against pneumonia. So coming to the routes of administration of vaccines, these are the routes: intradermal, subcutaneous and intramuscular. You can see the angle through which the needle pierces our skin. In intradermal, this angle, it is very acute. So it only pierces only the dermis layer. It does not go deep through. If you see in BCG, after putting BCG, we will get a small raised lesion. That is due to the intradermal. Subcutaneous, it will go below the intradermal layer. Intramuscular, almost 90 degrees. So we will go straight into the muscle. So first, in this national immunization schedule, we will see in this order. First we will see the immunization of mother. Next the child. In the child we will see at these stages. First at the birth of the child. Then at 6, 10 and 14 weeks of the child. Then at when the child is aged 9 months. Next when the child is about 1.5 to 2 years, that is about from 16 to 24 months. Then at 5, 10 and 16 years. After this, it is called as adult immunization. So at present in India, there is no adult immunization schedule which is like valid and followed throughout the country. So it is coming up. Soon we can expect the HPV vaccine to be added. That is the human papillomavirus vaccine to be added. So based on these vaccinations, a child can be called as fully immunized and completely immunized. So a child is called as fully immunized if before 1 year of age it has received 3 doses of OPV, 3 doses of rotavirus, and 3 doses of pentavalent, and 2 doses of IPV. Fractional IPV means intradermal IPV, and then 3 doses of pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, and the first dose of MR vaccine, and the first dose of the Japanese encephalitis vaccine. Of these vaccines, you can see where applicable. Some vaccines are seen only in certain states or in certain districts, like rotavirus, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, and then Japanese encephalitis vaccine. Slowly they will be introduced all over the country. So when a child before 1 year of age it has had all these vaccines, then it is called fully immunized. Then completely immunized means after getting fully immunized, if the child gets the second dose of MR vaccine, and if the child gets the DPT booster, and the child gets the polio booster, and the child gets the second dose of Japanese encephalitis vaccine, it is called completely immunized. So first, when we come into the national immunization schedule, we are first seeing the immunization of the mother. So you can see in the immunization of the mother, recently the government of India, it has changed TT to TD. So tetanus diphtheria will replace TT in our immunization schedule. It is no longer 2 doses of TT, it is 2 doses of TD. So in pregnancy, a mother should get 2 doses of TD 4 weeks apart. So the first dose should be given as soon as possible early in pregnancy when she comes for the urine pregnancy test or for confirmation of the pregnancy. The second dose at least 4 weeks after the first dose. Then what is the dose is 0.5 ml. There is no need for diluent because it is a liquid vaccine. So when will we need a diluent? So some vaccines, they will be in the form of the powder. So this powder we cannot inject. So in order to inject this powder, we have to add some water, some solution which can make it in the form of injection. So that is called as the diluent. So TT is given intramuscularly. It should be given in the upper arm. TT is not given in the gluteal region. It is always given in the upper arm. So for a mother, for example, a mother has delivered a baby only last year. In this case, she need not have 2 doses of TT in the next pregnancy. For her, 1 dose of TT, that is 1 TT booster is enough. See here, if a mother has received 2 doses of TT in a pregnancy within the last 3 years, then 1 TT booster is enough. So next, we are going to a newborn baby. So the baby is just being born. So what are the vaccines that has to be given at birth? So at birth, we have to give the OPV 0 dose. So OPV, so oral polio vaccine, we will give orally. So how many, what is the dose? It is 2 drops. So we have to give 2 drops of oral polio vaccine. So this oral polio vaccine, it should be given within 15 days of birth. Should be given within the 15 days of birth. Next, this is the right side of the child and this is the left side of the child. So we will give BCG. So where we will give BCG? So BCG, we will give it on the left upper arm. So BCG, we will give it on the left upper arm. So what is the route of administration? It is given through intradermal route. So after we give the BCG, child will develop a slightly raised lesion here. The child will develop slightly raised lesion here after giving BCG. So till how long the BCG can be given? This BCG can be given till 1 year of age. So OPV protects against poliomyelitis, but BCG does not protect against TB. It only protects against disseminated forms of TB or severe forms of TB, or it protects against the severe complications of TB. So till 1 year of age, the BCG given is called as direct BCG. So if a child has missed BCG after 1 year of age, then we should not give BCG directly. We have to do a MAN2 test. After 1 year of age, we have to do a MAN2 test, and then only we have to give BCG. It is called indirect BCG. So BCG given after 1 year, it is called indirect BCG. Okay, so BCG, it is like a powder. So we need a diluent for BCG. So this diluent for BCG is nothing but sodium chloride. So the diluent for BCG is sodium chloride. Then what is the dose of BCG? So BCG, the doses, there are 2, 0.05 ml or 0.1 ml. If the child is less than 1 month, so we are giving at birth, so the child will be less than 1 month, so it is 0.05 ml. So if you have missed at birth, if you are giving after 1 month, then it should be 0.1 ml. Okay, this is all about BCG. Then what is the next vaccine you have to give at birth? So the third vaccine we are giving at birth is hepatitis B. So where do we give hepatitis B? So hepatitis B, it is a intramuscular injection. We are giving it in the thigh, in the anterolateral side of the left thigh. So where we are giving hepatitis B, we are giving it in the anterolateral side of the left thigh. If you see the thigh, we will give it at the upper 1/3, anterolaterally we will give in the left thigh. We are not giving in the gluteal region, because if we give in the gluteal region, because of fat deposition, the efficacy of the vaccine will go down, and then there is also injury may also happen to sciatic nerve. So only we are giving hepatitis B on the anterolateral aspect of the left thigh. So what is the dose of the hepatitis B? So the dose of hepatitis B is 0.5 ml. So the dose of hepatitis B is 0.5 ml. So we have to give hepatitis B within 24 hours of birth. So why should we give within 24 hours of birth? Because to prevent the transmission of any hepatitis B from the mother. If given after 24 hours, it has no benefit. So only it is called as hepatitis B birth dose. So it has to be given within 24 hours of birth. And then hepatitis B, it has no diluent. So this is all about the birth dose. So what are the vaccines we are giving at birth? BCG, hepatitis B, and OPV 0 dose. So these are 3 vaccines. BCG can be given maximum till 1 year of age. After that, it is called indirect BCG. Hepatitis B, it should be given within 24 hours of birth. OPV 0 dose, it should be given within the first 15 days. This is according to the immunization handbook given for the medical officers and health workers Government of India, released in 2018. So next we finished at birth. We are going into 6 weeks of age. So 6 weeks of age. So it is the right side of the child and the left side of the infant. Sorry, right side of the infant and left side of the infant. So at 6 weeks of age, so what are the vaccines you will give? So when you start from the mouth, so you have to give OPV 2 drops. Then next is rotavirus vaccine. So how many drops of rotavirus vaccine you will give? You have to give 5 drops. So you have to give 5 drops. So 2 drops of OPV and 5 drops of rotavirus. This is the OPV first dose, the rotavirus vaccine first dose. We are giving it at 6 weeks of age. Then the next vaccine is pentavalent. So pentavalent you are giving in the left side. Intramuscular. So OPV and rotavirus you give orally. Pentavalent you are giving it in intramuscular route. You are giving it in the mid thigh, that is in the anterolateral aspect of the left thigh. So what is this pentavalent? If you see pentavalent, it has 5 components: diphtheria, pertussis. So this pertussis is whole cell pertussis. Then tetanus. So diphtheria and tetanus are toxoids. Then we have hepatitis B, which is a subunit vaccine. Then we also have Haemophilus influenza type B. So these 5 components, they form the pentavalent vaccine. So it is a liquid vaccine. So it also has no diluent. So what is the dose of the pentavalent vaccine is 0.5 ml. Next, at 6 weeks, we also have to give the IPV vaccine, inactivated polio vaccine. It is given intradermally. So when given intradermally, this IPV is also called as fractional IPV vaccine. So when given intradermally, it is called a fractional IPV vaccine. When given intradermally, the dose requirement will be very low, that is 0.1 ml. So when given intradermally, the dose requirement will be very low, that is 0.1 ml. So where will you give this? You will give it on the right side upper arm. So you are giving it on the right side upper arm, because in the left side we have given BCG. BCG, it will form a scar. It is given on the left side only for uniformity. So for uniformity, IPV is given on the right side upper arm intradermally. Next vaccine is pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. So this pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, it is also given at 6 weeks. So the dose of the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine is 0.5 ml. It is given intramuscularly. This intramuscular, it is given on the anterolateral aspect of the mid thigh on the right side. So it is given on the right side anterolateral aspect. So this pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, it also has no diluent. If you see, if a child has missed at 6 weeks of age all these vaccines, this OPV it can be given till 5 years of age, pentavalent can be given till 1 year of age, rotavirus it is also given till 1 year of age, because after 1 year of age diarrhea is less common. Then pneumococcal conjugate vaccine is also given till 1 year of age. Maximum, if a child has missed, it can given maximum till 1 year of age, because after 1 year the pneumonia caused due to these agents is very low. Then IPV it is also given till 1 year of age maximum. Okay, now we have finished at 6 weeks. Next we have 14 weeks. So the same things are repeated again at 14 weeks. At 14 weeks, all these vaccines are repeated again the same ditto at 6 and 14 weeks. Then when you come into the 10th week, so when you come into the 10th week, similarly we will give OPV 2 drops. We will also give rotavirus orally 5 drops. Then we will also give pentavalent. Then at 10 weeks there is no IPV. IPV is not given, and then at 10 weeks PCV is not given. So at 6 weeks IPV and PCV were given. At 10th week IPV and PCV are not given. So we gave only OPV, rotavirus, pentavalent. Then when you go back again to 14 weeks, in addition to OPV, rotavirus, pentavalent, they will receive the IPV and PCV. So this is the vaccination given at 6, 10 and 14 weeks of age. So OPV at 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks, pentavalent 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks, then IPV, fractional IPV or intradermal IPV 6 weeks and 14 weeks, rotavirus 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks, then pneumococcal conjugate vaccine 6 weeks and 14 weeks. Then if you see at 9th month, so when you see at 9th month a booster dose is given, that is the booster dose of pneumococcal conjugate vaccine is given at 9th month. So what is the other common vaccine which is given at 9th month? It is nothing but it is the measles vaccine. Now this measles vaccine has been changed into measles rubella vaccine. So the first dose of measles rubella or MR vaccine is given at 9th month. So it is given, where it is given? It is given on the upper arm right side. So how it is given, this measles vaccine? It is given subcutaneous route. So till now we saw intradermal and intramuscular, but measles it is given through the subcutaneous route. The dose is 0.5 ml. So measles it comes like a powder, so it has to be added with a diluent. So the diluent is sterile water. So the diluent is sterile water. If the measles is missed at 9th month, it can be given till 5 years of age, it can be given. So the measles it can be given till 5 years of age. After 5 years, since the disease incidence also goes down, this vaccine is not used. So this is all about the measles vaccine. It is usually given at 9 months or at between 9 to 12 months. For uniformity, we are keeping it at 9th month. Then 9th month, another vaccine is given in certain selected endemic districts, that is the Japanese encephalitis vaccine. It's also called as the JE vaccine. The first dose is given. If you see the Japanese encephalitis vaccine, rotavirus vaccine, pneumococcal conjugate vaccines, they are given first in certain states, then slowly phase by phase they will be introduced in other states and districts. So only you can see the term wherever applicable. So Japanese encephalitis, it is given at 9th month of age. The first dose is given, the dose is 0.5 ml. It is given on the left upper arm through the subcutaneous route. So 9th month we have two subcutaneous, measles on the right side and then Japanese encephalitis on the left side. So it is also in the form of a powder. So the diluent should be added is phosphate buffer. So we have to add phosphate buffer as diluent. So what is the maximum age? It can be given even till 15 years of age if a child has missed the dose. Then along with this, at 9th month, although it is not a vaccine, it is being added in the schedule, it is vitamin A. So vitamin A, it is given as 1 lakh international units through a spoon. It is given through a spoon. The dose at 9th month is 1 lakh international units. It is given orally at 9th month. So we can see at 9th month, so MR vaccine first dose and Japanese encephalitis vaccine first dose and vitamin A first dose. You see, rotavirus vaccine is being introduced in phases. Now it has almost been introduced in all over India. Then MR vaccine is also introduced in phases. First we had only measles first dose, then measles second dose was introduced. Now this measles has been slowly replaced by measles rubella vaccine. Then Japanese encephalitis vaccine, it has been introduced only in selected endemic districts. And vitamin A first dose, it is given at 9th month. Then after 9th month, every 6 months we have to give vitamin A. That is between 1 to 5 years of age. So between 1 to 5 years, how many 6 months will come? There will be 8 6 months. So 8 doses. So totally 9 doses of vitamin A will be given to the child. These 8 doses will be given in collaboration with the ICDS centers. ICDS centers are nothing but Balwadi or Anganwadi centers. Next, in case the first dose of the MR vaccine or the first dose of the JE vaccine is missed and the child has got aged beyond 12 months, then we have to ensure at least 1 month gap between 2 MR doses and 3-month gap between the 2 Japanese encephalitis doses. So we'll see it in the next slide. So next we are going into 16 to 24 months of age. So at 16 to 24 months of age, what are the vaccines we have to give? So we already saw we have given JE vaccine. Now we have to give the booster dose for JE or the second dose of JE. It is not the booster, it is called as the second dose of JE vaccine. We are giving it at between 16 to 24 months. It is given in the left upper arm. Then we have to give the OPV booster. After the first, second, third dose, this dose is called as the OPV booster, the same 2 drops. Next we are giving the second dose of MR, measles and rubella. We are giving it in the upper arm right. It is given as subcutaneous. Next we will also give DPT booster. So DPT booster 1, it is given at between 16 to 24 months. maximum age is till 7 years of age it can be given, because after 7 years of age the incidence is also less, and after 7 years the complications due to pertussis is high. The complications due to pertussis component is high after 7 years of age. So the maximum age we are giving is still only 7 years of age if a child has missed the dose at 16 to 24 months. So where we will give? We are giving it in the anterolateral aspect of left thigh. So next we will also give vitamin A. We have seen it in the previous slides. Vitamin A, the remaining 8 doses will give every 6 months between 1 to 5 years of age. Each dose will be 2 lakh international units orally. So at 16 to 24 months we are giving the first booster of DPT, the second dose of measles and rubella, then the second dose of Japanese encephalitis, then the OPV booster, then vitamin A. Next, at 5 to 6 years of age, we are giving the second booster of DPT. It can be given maximum till 7 years of age. In this TT vaccine, it has been replaced by TD, tetanus diphtheria. We are giving it at 10 years and then at 16 years of age. And then if you come into adult, as adults, we should have one TD vaccine every 10 years. So we have come to the end of the session. So this is the immunization schedule in a quick short format. At birth, BCG, OPV 0 dose, hepatitis B birth dose. At 6th week, pentavalent 1, rotavirus 1, OPV 1, PCV 1 and IPV 1. At 10 weeks, pentavalent 2, rotavirus 2 and OPV 2. At 14 weeks, pentavalent 3, rotavirus 3, OPV 3, PCV 2 and IPV 2. At 9 months, measles and rubella vaccine, vitamin A, Japanese encephalitis first dose and then PCV booster. At 16 to 24 months, DPT booster 1, OPV booster, MR second dose, then JE vaccine second dose. Then 5 to 6 years, DPT booster 2, and then at 10 years, TD vaccine, 16 years, TD vaccine. Pregnant women, 2 doses of TD at least 1 month apart. If the last pregnancy was within past 3 years, only 1 dose is enough. So rotavirus vaccine and PCV vaccine are in selected states only. Japanese encephalitis in selected endemic districts only, and measles rubella vaccine in selected states only. So vitamin A totally we are giving 9 doses. So IPV, it can be given in 2 ways, but mostly we are following only the intradermal route, that is the fractional dose at 6 weeks and 14 weeks. Thank you friends. Be subscribed to this channel. In the next will be the video in detail explaining about what are vaccines, how they work, what is cold chain, and everything from A to Z about vaccines. Thank you.